The fluorescent lights flickered ominously above me, casting long, eerie shadows across the deserted platform. An unsettling silence hung heavy in the air, broken only by the distant rumble of an unseen train and the incessant drip of a leaky faucet somewhere down the tunnel. It was 11:58 p.m., and I was inexplicably stranded in the depths of New York City's infamous Fulton Street station, notorious for its paranormal activity. Foolishly, I dismissed the warnings whispered amongst my friends about the dangers of lingering here past midnight. My phone battery had died, leaving me cut off from the world and facing the unsettling reality of my situation. As the clock ticked towards the witching hour, a sense of dread coiled tighter around my chest. The flickering lights finally sputtered and died, plunging the station into an inky darkness. Panic clawed at my throat, but I forced myself to breathe deeply, my hand instinctively searching for the pepper spray nestled in my bag. A blood-curdling scream echoed through the tunnels, raw and desperate. My heart hammered against my ribs, every instinct screaming at me to run. But where? The station was a labyrinth of dark, dank tunnels and abandoned platforms, each a potential hiding place for whatever had emitted that chilling cry. Then I saw it, a faint, ghostly light flickering at the end of the next platform. With a tremor of fear and a flicker of hope, I crept towards it, the silence broken only by my own ragged breaths and the unsettling crunch of gravel beneath my shoes. As I drew closer, the light resolved into a single flickering gas lamp, bathing the platform in an eerie yellow glow. But it wasn't the light that chilled me to the bone. It was the figure slumped against the wall, its head lolling at an unnatural angle. Terror froze me in place. The woman's dress, once white and elegant, was now stained and tattered. Her pale face was contorted in a silent scream, her eyes wide open and vacant. It was as if the very essence of terror had been etched onto her features. A choked sob escaped my lips, shattering the stillness. The figure's head snapped towards me, its vacant eyes seeming to bore into my soul. An inhuman growl ripped from its throat, and it lunged towards me with unnatural speed. Adrenaline surged through me, snapping me out of my paralysis. I bolted, my sneakers pounding against the slick floor as I weaved through the darkness, the echoes of the creature's unearthly shrieks and the pounding of my own feet my only companions. I didn't dare look back, fueled by primal fear and the desperate hope of finding an escape. My lungs burned, my legs ached, but I pushed on, the chilling laughter of the creature echoing through the tunnels, urging me further and further into the darkness. Just as I thought I couldn't run another step, a faint glimmer of light appeared ahead. With a burst of renewed energy, I stumbled towards it, praying it wasn't another cruel illusion. The light grew brighter, revealing the familiar outline of the station entrance. Hope blossomed in my chest, but I forced myself to remain cautious. This could be a trap, a cruel trick by the unseen entities that haunted this place. Reaching the entrance, I fumbled with the heavy door, my hand shaking violently. Finally, it creaked open, revealing the bustling streets of New York bathed in the warm glow of sunrise. I stumbled out, collapsing onto the pavement, tears streaming down my face. The city, once a symbol of chaos and indifference, now felt like a haven. The sounds of horns honking and people talking were no longer noise, but a symphony of life, a comforting reminder of the world beyond the darkness I had just escaped. But even as I sat there, gasping for breath and basking in the reassuring light of day, I couldn't shake the feeling that I wasn't entirely alone. The chilling memories of the night, the screams, the vacant eyes of the ghostly figure would forever haunt me. They say the ghosts of Fulton Street Station never truly leave those who encounter them. A part of me, forever marked by that terrifying night, knows they might be right. The darkness I experienced lingers on the periphery of my vision, a constant reminder of the unseen world that exists just beyond the veil of our normality. I never returned to Fulton Street Station, but sometimes, late at night, when the city sleeps and the world seems eerily quiet, I can swear I hear the faint echo of a scream, a chilling reminder of the night I was trapped in the depths of terror, forever marked by the whispers of the Fulton Street ghosts. Shaken but alive, I made my way back to the familiar comfort of my Brooklyn apartment. Sleep, however, remained elusive. The station's shadows played tricks on my eyelids, the echoes of the woman's scream echoing in my ears. Dawn's arrival brought a semblance of peace, but the unease lingered. Driven by a morbid curiosity and a nagging feeling of incompleteness, I started researching the history of Fulton Street Station. As I delved deeper, the tales grew darker. Unsolved disappearances, whispers of a forgotten asylum built beneath the platforms, and chilling legends of a vengeful spirit known as the White Lady, the woman I had encountered, sent shivers down my spine. The need to understand my experience propelled me back to the city. This time, armed with research and a newfound determination, I ventured into the station during daylight, the fluorescent lights a stark contrast to the previous night's darkness. Descending to the platform where I had seen the White Lady, I found a faded mural depicting a young woman in a white dress, eerily similar to the figure I had encountered. The inscription read, "Olivia, lost but forever seeking." My throat tightened. Could this be the woman's true identity? Following the mural's faint outline, I discovered a hidden passageway, its entrance barely visible beneath layers of grime. Curiosity battled with fear, but the desire for answers won. Entering the passage, a damp chill crawled up my spine. The air grew thick with dust and something else, an oppressive energy that pressed down on me. The passage led to a hidden chamber, its walls lined with weathered medical charts and rusted instruments. An unsettling realization dawned on me. This was the forgotten asylum I had read about. Olivia, perhaps a patient here, must have met a tragic end, her spirit forever bound to the station. A sudden gust of wind extinguished my flashlight, plunging me into darkness. Panic surged, but then a faint blue light emanated from within the chamber. As my eyes adjusted, I saw them, spectral figures, patients from the asylum, their faces etched with despair and pain. One figure, taller than the others, approached me. It was the White Lady, her vacant eyes now filled with a flicker of sorrow. Using the name I gleaned from the mural, I whispered, "Olivia, why do you haunt this place?" Her spectral form wavered, the echo of her voice filling the air. Lost, trapped, seeking peace. My heart ached for her. She wasn't a vengeful spirit, but a lost soul yearning for release. Suddenly, the chamber rumbled, the ceiling above beginning to crumble. Alarms blared from the station above, signaling an imminent collapse. Panic seized me, but Olivia remained eerily calm. "Go," she whispered, her voice urgent. "Find the old well in the main concourse. Offer water, a symbol of peace." Before I could question her, the ceiling caved in, dust and debris raining down. I scrambled out, the chamber collapsing behind me. Guided by Olivia's words and an unnerving sense of direction, I found the well, its rusty handle cold and damp. As I lowered the bucket into the darkness, a wave of nausea washed over me. Inside, something glinted, a silver locket. Hesitantly, I retrieved it, feeling Olivia's sorrowful presence intensify. Following her final plea, I poured water from the well onto the locket, and in that moment, the station trembled. A blinding light erupted from the well, followed by a chilling wail. Then, silence. When my vision cleared, the well was empty and Olivia was gone. The chamber's collapse had sealed the asylum entrance, severing her connection to the station. Olivia's locket now sits on my mantelpiece, a constant reminder of my encounter and the bittersweet resolution. While the whispers of the Fulton Street ghosts may forever echo in my memory, I carry the hope that Olivia has finally found her peace. Days turned into weeks, yet the echoes of Fulton Street Station lingered. Olivia's sorrowful plea and the spectral presence I felt throughout the encounter refused to fade. Sleep was punctuated by vivid dreams of the hidden chamber, whispers and forgotten languages echoing in my mind. A heightened sensitivity to the unseen world had taken root, manifesting as chills in seemingly mundane places, whispers on the wind, and fleeting glimpses of shadowy figures in the corner of my eye. Driven by this newfound awareness, I delved deeper into the paranormal, seeking answers and understanding. I joined online forums, connected with fellow experiencers, and even cautiously attended local ghost tours. Slowly, I began to piece together a fragmented picture of a world beyond our physical senses, a realm where spirits like Olivia roamed, tethered to unresolved emotions or unfinished business. The locket Olivia left felt like a key, a conduit to her energy. Holding it, I could almost hear her whisper, guiding me towards those in need, lost souls like herself trapped in their own personal purgatories. It started subtly. A misplaced child in a crowded mall, a man haunted by grief at a cemetery, a woman sleepwalking towards danger. Using intuition and the faint pull of the locket, I found myself drawn to these situations, offering comfort, guidance, or simply a listening ear. These interventions, while small, brought a profound sense of purpose. I wasn't just helping these lost souls. I was honoring Olivia's memory, fulfilling her final wish for peace. The line between my normal life and my newfound sensitivity blurred. The paranormal whispers became less unnerving, more like requests for help. One rainy night, the pull of the locket became stronger than ever. It led me to the abandoned Roosevelt Island Asylum, a notorious hotspot for paranormal activity. As I entered the dilapidated building, an oppressive energy pressed down on me, whispers and moans swirling in the air. Deep within the asylum, the locket thrummed with warmth. There, I found a young woman, lost and confused, reliving the trauma of her confinement. Using Olivia's experience as a guide, I spoke to her softly, offering solace and a path to move beyond her pain. As the woman found peace, a wave of energy washed over me. The asylum's oppressive atmosphere lifted, replaced by a sense of serenity. The locket grew cool, its purpose seemingly fulfilled. Returning home, I knew I wouldn't stop here. There would be others, lost souls beckoning for help, and I, with my unique connection to the unseen, would be their guide. Olivia's story wasn't just about her tragic past. It was a catalyst, awakening a dormant ability within me. I wasn't just a witness to the paranormal anymore. I was becoming a bridge between worlds, offering hope and closure to those lost in the shadows. The whispers of Fulton Street Station now served as a reminder not of fear, but of responsibility. And as I held the locket close, a feeling of gratitude washed over me. Gratitude for Olivia's guidance, for the unexpected path my life had taken, and for the chance to make a difference, one lost soul at a time.